and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 291. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Too Fresh Crash. He's back, baby.
What do you mean? I was here last week.
Yeah, but you weren't Too Fresh Crash last week, you know?
Can I never be Too Fresh Crash again? Is that like a possibility?
Tell you what, if you tell the people the truth, I won't say it ever again.
What truth?
Hold up your coffee cup. I don't want you selling fakeness to our audience here. Hold up your coffee cup.
Oh, you mean the coffee I got from Starbucks?
Now tell everyone the truth.
That I got the coffee from Starbucks because I'm Too Fresh Crash.
There you go. He's Too Fresh Crash, everybody. And of course, the one and only, it is Matt P. Video. Matt, how are you?
I'm good, man. This episode brought to you by Starbucks.
I mean, Starbucks and tap water in a Velvet bottle. Just so we're all aware.
What do you mean? You were telling me about it earlier. How you just went and bought that bottle.
Nope. Not what I said.
That's exactly
not what I said. Not what I said. Nope.
Matt,
that's
do you remember
lie.
him saying that?
Nope.
I'm staying out of it, mate.
Smart decision.
Mummy and Daddy are fighting. I'm not getting involved in this again.
Don't get involved.
It's a smart decision.
Crash, how have you been? You been all right?
I've been. I watched the Mortal Kombat movie earlier.
You've seen it? It's not even out over here yet.
It's out over here.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything.
No spoilers, but no, you can give an opinion.
No
opinion. You can give an opinion. It's not a spoiler.
I don't like the movie.
But in the same breath, you don't like many films. I just want to give that. There's a reason we don't have a movie podcast. That's
very true.
You know, like you have bad opinions.
Very true.
You have bad opinions.
It's not a bad opinion. I will be surprised if anybody but hardcore Mortal Kombat fans like this movie.
I love the trailer.
I
absolutely love the trailer as well.
Okay. They released like the first 10 minutes of the film, right? And I watched that.
Wait, what?
And they released like the opening 10 minutes.
7
minutes. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Probably
I watched
part
that
of the movie.
Okay.
And really? I was very much like, oh yeah, this is pretty hardcore. Like it's already pretty like hardcore Mortal Kombat-y. So yeah.
It's, if you are a Mortal Kombat fan, I think you'll really like it. If you go into it expecting, I don't want to get into it. Next week, if you watch it, we can have a little discussion before.
It is interesting because producers in interviews have said that they're distancing themselves from this being a video game movie and that they are thinking of this as a martial arts movie. So it's interesting to hear you say that you have to be a Mortal Kombat fan if you think you're going to enjoy this.
It's 100% a video game movie. I liken it to the Batman Forever, the Bat Nipple movie.
Yeah. The Bat.
I liken it to the same level as that. It's incredibly. We can talk about it next week.
You've said enough.
Okay.
You've said enough. Matt P, how you been, brother?
I'm really good, mate. We're going to get to it later, but stuff I've been playing this week has got me all excited, man. It's exciting. Exciting times.
Good. If you didn't know, My Xbox and Me is our weekly Xbox podcast right here on youtube.com/myxboxandme, and of course, all podcast services. I got a message from Spotify the other day. It's like, check out the new Spotify dashboard, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, there's actually more people that listen on Spotify. So shout out to you if you're listening on Spotify right now. You know, shout out to you. I respect it. And, keep doing your thing, you know? Anybody
You just said shout out to the people on Spotify, and I did a thumbs up to the camera, which they can't see.
No,
because they're on Spotify.
They could hear it. I heard it.
They heard.
Oh, you hit the
they could hear it.
The old audible thumbs up. Yeah, I love it.
Mm-hmm. You did a great job. But yeah, so everybody else, up your game. You know, go subscribe to us on Spotify and Google and iTunes and Podbean and everywhere else. Like you might as well subscribe on all of them so you help us. All right. So
somebody commented saying that we were on Google and everything was okay. The other week,
I did see that. I forgot your name and I apologize for that because I'm a big dum-dum. But shout out to you because you did the thing we asked, which was to let us know if Google is still working, and it is, which is nice. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channels, youtube.com/myxboxandme. We are going to be doing some more live streams. That is definitely something we are going to do. I am 100%, even if we don't start producing Let's Plays and other things, we are going to start doing live streams. I need my weekly dose of like the three of us actually playing a game together. Mm-hmm. I feel like that is something we need to Scheduling is always a pain in the butt cheeks, of course, as we've all got our own different things that we do. But that is something I want to do and definitely make happen.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
You know, a good game to start that with? The
Rainbow Six Vegas 2?
No, not what I was gonna say. Not at all.
Fine.
Go on,
Just
hit
me.
me.
We could, you know what, Matt? I'm with you. We could do that just for you.
Let's not.
I feel bad now. I feel like the guy who told the kid that Santa Claus doesn't exist.
For people who don't know, last week's episode. No, but we didn't talk about it. We spoke about it more off air than we did on air.
Yeah.
So last week, the Rainbow Six 2 online servers are going to get taken down, right? And I feel really bad as well, Chris. So I'm glad you brought this up, which was like, so we spoke about that, and we're all like, oh, we've got these great memories with Rainbow Six. Chris is like, I've never played it. Matt's like, we should play it. I'm like, all right, maybe. And then like, I just had like a kind of a hellish week, and then like, I saw the message only this morning, which is like, so guys, I'll buy Rainbow Six if you wanna play it. And I'm just sort of like, I looked at the message for like 10 minutes and stared there like, no, this might have been something I wanted to do a week ago, but I sure as hell don't want to do it now. So I'm sorry. That's okay. That's not happening. But Chris, what was you gonna say? What game was you gonna say?
The dinosaur extinction game. I forget the exact name.
That is a fantastic second extinction. Yeah. The game we're talking about coming to Game Pass in early access, which we were talking about later on in the show. Yeah. That would be a great game to play. All three of us jumping in and shooting dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll make it happen. Don't forget you can get the show early over on patreon.com/mcfixer. I don't usually try and promote myself on this show too much. Even at the end of the show, plug, and all that stuff, which most of you probably don't even make it to. But I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers over on youtube.com/moremcfixer. This show does well over 1,000 views. So I would love it if you have a YouTube account, even if you don't watch YouTube and you have a YouTube account, please, youtube.com/moremcfixer. I'm trying to get that channel monetized and I can't do it without your support, that's going to become my gameplay channel, where my main channel is going to become reactions, tech, and more YouTube-y type content. So I am pleading and asking the My Xbox and Me audience to please go and help me. youtube.com/moremcfixer. It would help a great deal. So please do. Patreon producers this month, obviously, we have the one and only Aaron Guard, who I haven't spoken to in a really long time. So thank you so much for keep supporting the show, Aaron Guard. I really do appreciate it. And the wonderful, amazing FNH Paul. Big shout out to both of you, and thank you for keeping us going each week. Topic of the show this week, guys. Microsoft's xCloud beta has arrived on PC and iOS. I don't even really want to read this blurb of text that I put here. Let's just talk about it. Guys, who is in the beta? Have you tried the beta? Did you enjoy the beta? Kresh, we'll start with you.
No to all of those, except that I enjoy it. I didn't get to play it, so I can't enjoy it.
Damn.
I didn't get the email either.
I've checked my email.
I know.
I've checked my email several times. Yeah.
I need to go get my controller, because my controller is next to my window. Because now I did get a chance to play it, and I happened to play it while I was in bed and on the toilet, like I said I would. I promised the audience I would play Halo on the toilet. It's the first thing I did. I sat down, I booted up Halo, and I played. I
saw the tweets.
Fix got his acceptance, and he was like, I gotta wait till I gotta use the bathroom.
I gotta go to the toilet, and then I'm gonna play. I'm gonna get my controller, because I just want to show it off on the video as well. So just
please do. Yeah, it is gutting. Like when I realized it was a golden ticket situation and like kept refreshing my email. Oh man.
Nope.
So good.
I checked like 3 of my emails. I knew which email my account's attached to, and I was like, I'm just gonna check them all just in case. Yeah.
They have all my data. They know.
So I think the biggest thing about xCloud or Cloud Gaming, Xbox Cloud Gaming, in which it's called now, was I was very, very, very apprehensive to the fact that I'm somebody that likes the iOS store, right? I like it because I enjoy the way apps work. I know Android has a similar thing. It's just that's the way I like to do things is the way I like to do things. And the biggest worry I had was I was always going to have to keep going to Safari or Google or whatever to get into the app, right? Mm-hmm. That was like the big thing that I was worried about. Xbox are so damn smart. They're so smart. Do you know what they've done? So I don't know if you can see it on my phone there. It will focus at some point. It's just I'm still in shot. There you go.
Yeah,
You see the looking app thing there in the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not an app. If you use Safari, you can bookmark web pages onto your homepage. I didn't know this. So when we've had these conversations about xCloud, right, and how they're going to find a workaround and stuff like that, that hadn't even entered my mind. That they would be able to use Safari to bookmark it as if it looks like an app. So now I just click it, and I might have to log in, which is the only thing I do have a problem. Yeah, I've got to log in again. That is the one thing that I've found that for some reason my account doesn't, even though I put remember me, it doesn't always remember me for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why.
Is that an incognito tab fix?
Exactly what I was going to say. Have you got your incognito tabs on?
I just tried to log in, and it says access to the beta is invite only. I've played the beta. What the hell is this?
You've been kicked
Okay,
out, mate.
fix.
You've been kicked
I think
out.
they just heard you were only playing it on the toilet. They're like, that's not what this is for.
Maybe they realized that they should give it to the better My Xbox and Me host. Let me check my email quick.
Yo.
No, I still don't have an email.
Access to the beta is... What? This is my account. What do you mean?
Are you in an incognito window? Because that could be messing you up.
Don't think so. Anyway, doesn't matter. I have played it. I do have opinions. I'm not lying to you people. I was using it last night. So xCloud. xCloud, I'm very much blown away by it in terms of it works. Which is I think the main crux of this, which was, could you get console games to work in a cloud-based way on a smartphone, right? We've seen Stadia do it, and credit where credit is due to Stadia. It does work. I've been very lucky to be able to play xCloud at trade shows such as EGX and EXO 2019 or EXO 19, I think they called it. And I was always like, all right, well, they've got this in a controlled environment with the best internet on Earth. Like, of course this is going to work. Like, I didn't expect it not to work. So bringing it home and playing it on Wi-Fi and on mobile data, I was very much like, okay, let's see how this is. Is it perfect? No. It is not perfect. It doesn't look graphically to the same standards as which we expect from our 4K Xbox Series X or S. It's not that, right? But what it is a way to play video games on the go. It's a way, and that is all it needs to be. This is something I've been dreaming of for absolute years. I remember when I first bought my Windows 10 laptop, and they brought out being able to stream to a laptop, and I thought that was just going to work. It didn't work. And then we've grown and grown and grown beyond that, and now we are at the point of this app or this website, and where the tech is, and it just works. And I think that's something I wanted to... Very rarely, we're very quick to be very critical of Xbox. I am, especially, because that's what I do. Like, you sort of critique the things you love more than you do love them sometimes, which is a weird thing to do. But I really want to commend Xbox on this. It works. They found a smart workaround with the web browser app situation, and I sat down, I played some Pro Evolution Soccer, and I've said on before, Crash, on here that I played FIFA before, right? And I was like, it doesn't work. The people are too small. I think I'm finally getting used to it, and it worked, and I played a match, and I was just like, this was a fun experience of a game I wouldn't usually play, because I can't be bothered to download it. I can't bother to sit there and think about all that. No, I just clicked it. It took a little bit of time to actually load into the game, a little bit longer than I would have wanted, but I assume this is a beta. I assume this is stuff they're only going to be able to improve on as internet speeds get better, as connections get better, and things like that. But yeah, I've got my controller mount, and I've had a lot of people asking me what controller mount I have. It's the MOGA Monga. You can find it on Amazon. If you go to my Discord, I can link it to you. And yeah, it's fantastic. I'm using my Project Scorpio controller, which is nice. And yeah, I was really, really blown away by the experience. Do you guys have any questions about it that you'd like answered?
What is your average download speed at your home? Do you know?
200 meg. I get 200.
That's pretty.
Is it 200
up there.
down or is that 200 up?
If you were getting 200 up, I'd be blown away.
Okay,
so I'm assuming
so it must be
down.
200 down, 20 up. Is what we currently have at this house. Again, I live with my fiance as we save to try and buy a house, and her dad. So it's his internet. It's so he pays for it. He does all of that. So I couldn't. I've looked into getting the 500 meg that Virgin do, because I now do 500. I'm waiting for them to get that gigabit. Like, oh man, I'm gonna pay for it. I'm definitely gonna do it. But yeah, I'm on 200. Obviously, I stream and I need good internet for that. And yeah, that's what I was using to play Pro Evolution, and I played some MLB The Show on there, I think. Again, it's weird because I've been doing the streaming thing as well while I play in bed as well sometimes, so I can't remember which experience is which. But yeah, I played that. I definitely played Pro Evolution on here. And then, like I said, I had a really fun time. Like, it doesn't have that same graphical fidelity that you'd expect from a game like that, but I could totally see if you hit me up while I was watching TV, right? It was like, yo, you want to play Outriders to help me with this boss? That is the perfect way for me to do it. I don't need to get up into my gaming chair, turn on my PC, turn on my Xbox, put my headset on. No, it's just like jump in, play, and it works. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Crash, anything?
Do you have any gripes with it? Anything that felt really off?
I think the slowness in loading into games annoyed me. Not remembering me logged in annoyed me. The fact that it's now kicked me out annoys me. But yeah, I think overall for me, it was more. It was. Is there problems with it and room for improvement? 1000% yes. 1000%. This is not flawless at the box. What works every time. Like I went to try and show Haley at one time. It just wouldn't load my game. I had to close the app, reboot the app. Like there are problems with it still. I'm not sitting here acting there isn't. But when it works, which is so far I'd probably say like 7 times out of 10 for me. Like it works flawlessly, and you load in. You're playing console games on your iPhone, which is humongous. What I will say is, I think we've all thought cloud gaming is going to try and eat away from that mobile market, right? I think that's a fair assessment that we've spoken about on the show. I don't think with the way it is currently, you're even going to touch that market.
Why is that exactly?
Because right now, it's too many steps. Right now, right at this precise moment. I understand it's invite only, so obviously it's going to be too many steps. It's the logging in, not being logged in all the time. It just doesn't translate to my mum or Haley's dad.
We're not there yet.
We're not there in terms of like you click one thing and it works. We're not there yet.
Do you think that would be different on Android where they do have a dedicated app?
I don't know. Hopefully, I guess. I still think the menu, which I wanted to show you guys, which is very similar to the Game Pass menu you have on PC. Oh, there it is. Now it's working. It's still, I don't know what you can see and stuff like. It's a Game Pass menu. It's just a bit too. It's nice and it works for me because I understand the ecosystem. I understand the games. I understand how this works, right? And I don't know, just for a casual person, I don't know if it will work. I will say I do like the touch controls. I played what did I play with the touch controls? I played one game. I'm trying to think what it was. What was it? Streets of Rage. I played Streets of Rage 4 on it with touch controls, and I was actually kind of blown away by how well that works. They've mapped it out. It's not my preferred way to play mobile games, and it's not I don't like touch controls. It doesn't work as well for me. Hence why I've got the extra controller with the grip mount and all that. But I was pleasantly surprised. It's definitely probably going to be the way I'm going to play Hellblade, which I'm sure is going to upset lots of people because I know, calm down everybody, I know. But I just want the story. That's why I'm playing.
Yeah, but I don't think you should do that. I think you're literally ruining the experience of that story.
Okay, fine. I won't do it then. If you're saying that I'm going to ruin an experience, I won't do it. I just want those, like, playing Telltale games on this would be magical. And, like, those...
I think there's...
Please.
I think there's a lot of games where, like, even games that you just want story, but I think...
Nightcall's on here. Nightcall's on here with touch controls. And I was like, actually, I'm going to load it up. Let me load it up real quick. So, again, I'm showing you the screen of, like, how long it takes. I do think it's a little bit too long for what we want. For what we want.
It is...
Go on.
It is streaming on Xbox One X's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
so they're not streaming on Xbox Series S's or X's or anything like that. So load times are probably also a little bit longer because of that as well. So it's still loading.
This is my point. You get what I'm saying. I'm not, when it works, and we will get into the game. It will work. There it goes. It will eventually come up. It works. It plays games. Like, it's a lot of fun. I'm not saying it's not. But I can see your face in the reflection there, Matt.
I know. I love it.
But I do think it takes just a little bit too much time. And we're in. The game's... that was the amount of time it took to load in. I think when you go from... You are comparing it to the £500 console you've just bought. And that it's hard to compare, but that is what you're comparing it like. It says... But the thing I want to give credit, again, load game, it says, right? That I can literally play off right where I was on Nightcall the last time I played it 3 months ago or 4 months ago or a year ago. The save date is there. There's no I've got to update it to this clad or throw it to this. And obviously, as you can see there, the touch controls are not as clear as, but there you go. But they actually have it custom to each game. So on this one right now, it's really a speech bubble and an X. So it's like go back or ask your question sort of thing, right? And then obviously you got your move. With Streets of Rage, you had your high kick, your low kick, your punch button, and it had the actual icons for each move on the touch controls. You can tell there's been a lot of love that is gone into this and gone into not only cloud gaming, Xbox cloud gaming, I should say, sorry, but the touch features and stuff, that they are going to make a play for a casual audience, definitely. But where it's at currently, I don't think it's
we're not there. We're not there.
Yeah, I think it's a smart step, though, because what they do is they get gamers who might be interested in mobile gaming but don't have like a game they really want to stick to, or people who don't really care about mobile gaming may be stepping into that market. And then word of mouth does wonders for stuff like this, where I assume that's how they're trying to get most of their advertising done for the xCloud.
For me, sorry,
please. I've spoken plenty, so please.
For me, the attractiveness of this is backlog, right? And it's getting through games that very story driven, single player backlog. And I know I don't have to think about it in advance. I don't have to go, oh yeah, but I deleted Control off my S because I haven't got enough room, so now I can't pick it back up. I ain't got to worry about it, right? That's the sort of games that I'm excited for this for. And I think I'm probably in a massive minority here. But if they announced an xCloud app for my S, I'd be all over it, right? Because I know I don't have to worry about storage.
It's
I can keep Warzone installed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's coming.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna be honest. I think for cloud gaming, one of the biggest things is actually once you start getting games streaming at like a 1080p or a 2K. Those experiences on PC and Xbox for people who can't continually upgrade their consoles, paying the $500 or whatever, that's actually going to be very big for them and might be a reason for them to get into the Xbox ecosystem.
100%. And I think you're right? Like we're in these early stages right now of Netflix still shipping DVDs out of people's houses, which is kind of physical games, if you like.
Yep.
And then them moving online, right? And people saying like, yeah, but we're moving to 4K. You're never going to be able to stream 4K video to your home. Well, here we are, right? And it's no problem whatsoever. We are going to get there. And with a company like Microsoft, who are so well established in this space, like leading the forefront, like we're going to get there in no time. Like I genuinely think in 5 years' time, we won't be talking about this at all. It won't even be a conversation of whether or not you're playing on xCloud. I understand that some people, internet's not made equal all over the world right now. Elon Musk, get on it. But like, I think eventually people will be streaming these games, no problem at all. And I think it will actually come a lot sooner than we think. What are you playing there now?
So this is Dirt 5. It loads up a little bit quicker than Nightcall did, as you may have noticed. And obviously we're loaded into a match right now.
How are the load times? Like you're on about loading into the game is slow. How are the load times once you're in? Are you noticing they're long?
I'm noticing they're long because I need to, it's these little things. See how my screen keeps going black? I need to then turn off the brightness setting in the settings. Also with auto lock, I've noticed that if it goes idle, auto lock quick. It's those little things that don't get me wrong, those are definitely me things. But here we go. This is me racing. Right.
That's because the iPhone isn't registering this as being an open app, right? Exactly. This is the iPhone thinking you're just leaving Safari idle and therefore locking itself. So that is interesting. But you could turn that off in the settings, right?
Yeah. That's all stuff I can turn off.
Exactly.
I'm crashing all over the place because I'm trying to play at an angle, but that's not the... It's not the controls that's the problem.
Fix, you don't have your driver's license, right?
I don't. That's very true.
Good.
I don't have my driver's license. Yeah, it definitely is. And it's not the controls. I think... That's definitely... I've noticed a little bit of latency every now and then. I'm going to stop there because I want to actually focus on the show. Sure. But I've noticed a little bit of latency every now and then, but nowhere near to the level in which I expected it to be, to be bad. Where I kind of thought, that's the thing where when I say it works, that's the magic of it working for me. It's not the load times, it's not that. It's when I actually get into the game, do I feel like it's a lesser experience? And by no means necessary do I believe that this is a lesser experience. And I think that's fantastic.
It's huge. I had one question. What was it? Please. Oh no. Oh, what's the longest session you've played on it so far?
I haven't done very long sessions. I usually, because again, it's that weird thing where, it's not even weird. It's that thing where if I'm going to play games, my setup is literally right next to my bed, and I would just rather come over here and play games. This is strictly a thing of Haley's watching some dumb TV that I don't care about. I still want to be part of that, but I want to play a game that I don't need to listen to. So, for me, I feel like the best case use is going to be grinding out achievements, grinding out gear, playing with friends who need help but don't need my voice to help them. Those sort of moments. I don't think it will ever replace my go-to experience with me with my 4K monitor and my Xbox Series X. But yeah, I probably played for about I pushed probably about 40 minutes max, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
The reason I was asking is I wonder how much of a battery drain it is. Maybe we're not there to really figure that out yet.
Dead. Maybe I can report back next week and have a really long session.
Which iPhone have you got?
I've got an 11.
Okay. That shouldn't be that bad. Battery degradation and stuff shouldn't be that bad at this point.
But I use this thing all the time. It feels like it's always dead. It feels like it's always dead.
And I mean, you could plug in, right? If you're laid on your bed, you got a plug next to your leg or whatever. You plug in and play it, and that's...
My biggest problem so far is this. My controller's still on.
Oh.
So I've come off xCloud, and I'm not on the app anymore or anything. So to get this to turn off for me is I now have to take the clip off and take a battery out.
You could disconnect it from your iPhone settings.
I could, yes, but that once again, then I need to go back in, reconnect it, blah 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 blah. It's just these. I know they're super little things, but they're still gripes that I have with the thing. So
I think that'll end up always being the case.
Yes, I agree.
As long as it's on Safari, I think that's the main issue. I don't know how many workarounds there are for that, and I assume that there probably aren't too many. But hopefully Microsoft can figure something out, and hopefully Apple changes its idea around this at some point, and they're like, sure, you can have a dedicated xCloud app.
I mean, you would have thought, right?
An easy way to fix that surely would be some sort of off shortcut on the controller itself, like triple tap the Xbox button to turn off your controller, or something and surely they could firmware update that in.
Maybe they already have it, and I'm just being a dum-dum. And very much let me know. But yeah, I always thought you could hold the button in to turn it off, but I've tried that and it just vibrates. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if the problem is that it runs through Safari, and I don't know how much they can do through Safari.
Yeah, I think it would have to be a firmware update for the controller itself that is universal across all controllers, and it doesn't care what you've got it connected to, but doing a combination of these buttons turns it off. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I'll hold.
It's exciting that you're in, though.
Yeah, man. I'm very lucky. Thankfully, thank you to whoever put me in. I didn't. No one reached out. I did just get an email like everybody else, but I do think my bitching on Twitter probably helped because I didn't have one straight away.
I see. Phil Spencer let you in. Got it.
We got more chance. We got more chance of it being Aaron Greenberg than we do Phil, but shout out nonetheless. No questions for Fixer Sack this week, so let's jump into what's in your box. Matt, you seem like you're the most excited to talk about video games this week, so talk to us. What you been playing?
Well, I've downloaded and I think I'm most of the way through Resident Evil 7,
Oh!
and that game is bloody awesome.
Okay, here we go. Talk to me, baby. What'd you like about it?
Look, I'm not the biggest Resident Evil fan, right? And being sat next to on this show, maybe the biggest Resident Evil fan, puts me at a bit of a disadvantage. I'm aware of that.
Have you seen my ducks?
Move. What ducks? Am I supposed to?
You keep talking. You keep talking.
Okay. The move, I think, to first person it has made this game far more enjoyable to me. Like, I played Resident Evil 2 Remake and absolutely loved it. Dipped into 3, didn't love it as much. All right, look at those ducks.
Quack, 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 quack. Look,
if you're on Spotify right now, you're missing out. Do you know what I mean?
shout out to you Spotify people. Go check the video. Go to the video at 32 minutes in, and you can see my Claire and Chris Redfield ducks. Sorry, Matt. Carry on. I'm sorry. I get excited. I'm sorry.
I get it. And yeah, so I adored Resident Evil 2 Remake, and it was my first experience with that game. And yeah, I never felt in Resident Evil 2 Remake really the horror aspect of it. It was a bit tense, but like Mr. X always felt like more of a puzzle to me, and the shift to first person has changed that drastically for me. When Jack's chasing around the house and stuff at the start, that's horror to me, as opposed to puzzly action stuff that I found in Resident Evil 2. And so, yeah, I am absolutely adoring this game. I don't know how far through I am. I'm at the boat, and I'm sure that means...
Okay, yeah, you're nearer to the end. You're beyond halfway.
But I've just been binging it, and I haven't wanted to binge a game like this in a very, very long time. It's got me very, very excited for Resident Evil 8, although I think the story is actually maybe not the story, but the characters, the main characters, Ethan and your wife, Mia, I think are probably the weakest part of this game. Like, it drops you in, right, and you're looking for your long-lost wife. I don't have any connection to this woman. The first time you see her, she goes crazy and tries to kill you. So why do I care? Like, why do I not just leave as Ethan? Like I understand that they're married, but, like, you have to make the person feel that. I have more of a relationship with Jack than I do Mia, because you spend so much time with Jack at the start of that game. And yeah, it's a scary relationship, but like, I feel like I know that character better than I know my wife. And so asking me to make these decisions about the future of my wife's life is like, I don't care. Let's just move on.
Which is the biggest problem with the game, because that moment that you've got to, which we won't spoil it because Resident Evil 8 is coming. I'm sure there's somebody listening that's like, please don't do it. I'm like, all right, cool, we won't. But that moment that you're talking about just absolutely deludes everything that goes beyond,
100%.
which you'll learn, which I won't get into. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I agree with you.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. As most people know, I'm doing the Resident Evil Revisited series over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/mcfixer, where we play through every single Resident Evil game and review them in depth. Myself, The Haley Show, which is my fiance, Shotgun McPain, and Despawn Games, all going through. And everything you've just said about story is one of the biggest problems Resident Evil has. I am still a fanboy. I still love it. But I have to admit, after playing through every single game back to back to back, I'm like, oof, I can see why people think I'm crazy for liking this series. I can. And those of you, I'm about to really upset some of you. Those of you that think Resident Evil 4 is a good game, I understand the gameplay, phenomenal. The story is one of the worst Resident Evil stories, period. I just wanted to upset some people. Carry on.
I've never played it.
Oh, dude, don't bother. Wait for the remake. Swear to you. Wait for the remake. Wait, no, just wait for the remake.
Salty Resident Evil.
Have you played it? Have you played it lately?
You should ask. You don't need to ask that. You know I did it.
I swear to you,
never played it.
We went in and again, watch the episode. It's out. It'll be out very soon. Just watch the episode. I can't do this. I can't. What else have you been playing, Matt?
Outriders, still cranking away at Outriders, really enjoying it. No idea what's going on in the story, don't care, enjoying the gameplay. Me and my friends as well, like, we're getting a bit frustrated with it because I think we thought, oh, we've unlocked a new world tier, we have to go to it. And that was absolutely destroying us. But also, we weren't really digging into the modding aspect of that game, which is only after Kresh said last week, I think it was, about it, did we really look into it. And now, it's so much more fun, like combining mods with skills and how that works. And, I've got this light machine gun. I have twice as much ammo in it now because of one mod. I have critical shots don't take away any ammo with another mod, and another mod replenishes the magazine. I can activate my special bullets and never reload the gun, and it's awesome. And I feel so powerful and so cool the whole time. And so now we're messing around with dropping up and down world tiers more frequently because it lets you do it so quickly and easily, which is lovely. You haven't got to reload. You can do it mid-encounter. Brilliant. And so, having more and more fun with Outriders every time I turn it on.
Crash, what have you been playing, my dude?
I tried a Game Pass game again this week.
Wow. Shout out to whoever it was that said about Chris trying that Game Pass games. Hit us, go on, what you got?
I tried Narita Boy. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
They had added it
a
few weeks ago. I should have done a little bit more research into the game I was trying. It's a platformer. So already, not the bit for whoever doesn't know, I'm not the biggest like platformer fan. Like, I can name probably Ori and Celeste are probably the only platformers I've ever like really enjoyed in a while. Beside games that are like platformers on top of other things along with it. That was kind of a problem. And then the game has a very long exposition in the beginning just to get to the gameplay. And I'm like, oh, I'm finally at the gameplay. And then for it to be a platformer, kind of a letdown. It has a cool art style. It's I think 8-bit or 16-bit or whatever. I think it looks cool. I think audio design's really cool in the game. I just not a really big game for me. That's it. That's all I played this week.
I played a little game called MLB The Show. And I get the hype about MLB The Show. I understand. I forgot what it's like to jump into a game that you have no idea of how the sport works.
Yeah.
Like, American football, I understand how it works. NBA, I understand how it works. FIFA, football, soccer, I understand how that works. Playing baseball, and they do what I want to give credit to is they do a great job of being like, what difficulties you want and what ways you want to play this game. They've got different ways of hitting the ball, different ways of throwing the ball, different ways of like catching the ball. Like they really do have like an advanced level, which I haven't seen in a sports game in a really long time. Like, it's like 4 different levels of like how to play the game and which way would you like to play the game. You can mix and match parts of it, like the fielding's this way, the batting's this way. I use the stick to bat, but you can use the buttons to try and bat. Like, it's really good in that way. I think that's something I want to give credit to. But as a British man, as an English man, I know absolutely nothing about baseball. Baseball is, to me, it's you hit the ball, make sure it's within the lines. Otherwise, that goes out for a foul ball. I don't quite understand how strikes work. I think it's if they swing for the ball and miss it, that's a strike. But if you don't get it within the square, which there isn't a square in real life, so that confuses me. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I don't want you to try and teach me, Crash. I know you know. I just don't care. Okay. So playing it, for me, was very much this is cool. I understand why people like this game. It's dope to have a baseball game, another sports game, number 1 in Game Pass, which I think is the perfect place for this to be, and number 2 on the Xbox platform, right? It's just one of those sports that I don't... If you're not in... like football, like, I could probably convince you to jump on and play FIFA with me, Crash. I could probably convince you somehow.
You want to know why you can? Because I've played FIFA before. I've watched football before. I understand football to a degree. Not as well as, you're right. I probably understand that more than you understand baseball.
1000%. I just, playing it, I was like, I'm still tempted to do a series because I think it would be funny to watch me progressively get better. Because the first few episodes are going to just be strike, crap, strike. Yeah. You're right. Like, I'm just terrible at the game, and I'm sure that will make for fun content of me getting angry. But I can't really speak that comprehensively about it because I just don't know what's going on. It always frustrates me. I've said this time and time again, right? Of like, 2K comes out and everyone's like, they're money grabbers and they're this and they're that. I'm like, but are you going to play the game? Does this affect you in any way, shape, or form? Or are you just getting up on your high horse? For me, I think it would be very unfair for me to sit here and be like, oh, it doesn't do this well, it doesn't do that well, which I haven't played enough to say either. But I'm happy it's here. I'm glad that I've played it. I am going to try and get better so I can speak about it a little bit more comprehensively, especially next year and year on year. Everyone knows how much I love sports titles. I play every single one. But yeah, I can't say too much, I'll be honest.
It is interesting that no sport game feels the need to have some sort of tutorial mode, not for the mechanics of the game, but here's how you play the sport. Here's what this means.
No, actually, no, it doesn't. No, you know what? You're right. It has a tutorial of like when you're sorting out your controls of the game mechanics, but it does. The only game I've ever seen. Let me just interject really quick. The only game I've seen ever do that perfectly was, do you remember Madden? Which one was the one with the epic story that we all loved? I think it was 19. It was 19, and they did the My Career mode. Right? Mm-hmm. And if you played the My Career mode, it was actually teaching you in the classroom as a player, like, oh,
the rules of the game.
As the quarterback, it teaches like, so what do you do if this happens? And it's like in a classroom, you have to select the right answer. That's the only sports game I've ever seen really dive in that deep and nitty gritty with it. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
It's interesting, right? Because as soon as you put it on Game Pass, you're hoping for a more casual audience. Like, you're hoping for me and you to pick this up, who don't know the rules of baseball. And so to have that sort of system is really valuable. And I get that is a super difficult thing to pull off. But go on, Crash.
It's one of those things where fighting games kind of suffer from this as well. As fighting games never really teach you how to play a fighting game. And the problem is that the people who make the games are generally a fan of that thing. So they'll think of like, oh, we're going to teach you how to play our game and the mechanics of our game, but not necessarily how you play the activity itself. You know, it doesn't teach you like what is baseball, what, like you were saying, how do strikes work? How do all these other things work? And I think that's just a sports issue in general.
100%. That's what we were talking about, right? With the decision to put MLB The Show on Game Pass was MLB saying, baseball is dying. We need this in as many hands as possible.
Yep.
But if Fix is going to bounce now because he doesn't understand the rules of baseball and he's striking out every time he doesn't know what X, Y, and Z means, then they failed in that goal, right? And if you're trying to access that new audience.
But can I give credit? Let me give a little credit where credit's due. I also refuse to put it on Rookie. Like, I was like, hell no.
Well then,
hell no. I'm a whatever the middle one was, right? Like, it might have been like intermediate. I'm an intermediate sports player, baby. I'm not going on Rookie. Get out of here.
And it will sound so ridiculous to people who know baseball and play baseball.
100%.
The idea that we don't know the rules, but like, you know, it's always that thing, right? Of like the girlfriend asking what the offside rule in football is, right? There's always that like joke of like people. Just because you're so entrenched in this thing doesn't mean everybody is. And if you want to get a new audience in, you have to teach them.
I think the problem is like the deal for it to come to Game Pass and like hit a more casual market wasn't there from the beginning.
Yeah. Sure.
So it came probably later, and it does take time to develop stuff like that and make things like that.
It takes time. It takes a whole nother team. Like you say, if you're going to sit somebody down in a classroom, that's a whole different game mechanic. That's a whole different game system. Like somebody has to build and somebody has to work on, and to make that entertaining as well is God, even more of a challenge, right? So I understand why it's not there, but I think sports games need to put it in there if they want to tackle this kind of audience.
Yeah. No, I think you've hit a great point, and I think you're 100% right. Let's jump into this week's dashboard. No one's got nothing else they've been playing, right?
Nope.
Cool. Let's jump into this week's dashboard and get through the news this week. Xbox Live Gold requirements have been removed for free-to-play games. Finally! This one was taken from IGN, written by Jordan Ollerman, who said, Xbox have detailed its plans to make online games in free-to-play games available to Xbox users who don't have Xbox Live Gold subscriptions. A blog post on the Xbox website explains that starting today, players will be able to access online multiplayer in over 50 games free-to-play games with no Xbox Live memberships required. You can check out the full library here, blah, 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 blah. The big hitters, though, are Fortnite, Apex, Rocket League, Roblox, which is humongous, Destiny 2, Brawlhalla, Warzone, It Takes Two, and World of Tanks. Those would be the big hitters that now you can actually play for free, which still stands my point, which I've always said, right? Which now it is actually free. Like, Games with Gold is not actually free, which proves my point even more so. This is long overdue, right, Crash? This is something that should have been here from the very start, the way it was on PlayStation.
Oh, absolutely. I still think they need to go a step further. Like, I think this is a great point, but I still think parties need to go free to play as well.
No, I disagree with you. Because you're getting to a point where you're deluding what game, like Xbox Gold is already well diluted at this point, right?
Yeah,
because of
absolutely.
Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate and stuff like that. So if you remove like any of more of your features, you're in trouble with that service.
I think you need to do one of two things then. A, you remove parties from it, or you make parties more worth it. Because party functionality isn't like fantastic. The voice is amazing. We've talked about like how Discord is becoming more and more commonplace. Even amongst console users, Discord is becoming more and more commonplace. And I don't think party really competes with it. Party's great, especially comparing it to what PlayStation offers. I can't speak of how it is on the PS5 or anything like that. I haven't messed around with it.
It's trash.
Somehow even worse.
I was gonna say it's worse than Party Chat.
So Party Chat's above that, but Party Chat isn't like, that's not what it's necessarily competing for anymore. You know, you aren't competing with like these obscure apps like TeamSpeak or Skype, and now you are competing with something that is designed specifically for gaming and is really adopted by a lot of people. So I do think they need to step it up in some regards in that aspect.
Yeah. Matt, what'd you think of all this free-to-play stuff?
It's all great news. Like, reading that out there, and I'm still blown away that Destiny 2 and Warzone are included, like, that are truly free-to-play now. That's insane to me. But, yeah, it's all great news. And I think the party chat thing, look, you can still jump into these games and use game chat, right? And if you're...
You can also still chat one-on-one with people, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, really?
Do they still have... if I'm not mistaken, that's gone now, but you used to be able to talk to one other person via voice chat, where party chat was multiple people.
Got it. That might be a thing.
I think I'm reaching at the back of my brain there of like back in the 360 days. So unless that's something they've removed quietly and just got rid of like individual one-on-one chats, which I don't think they have. Maybe they have. I don't know. But yeah, that was a thing once upon a time.
Yeah, it's a huge deal, and it'd be interesting to see, you know, if you know, you think of like kids, right, who are playing Fortnite and Apex and Warzone, and if they're paying whatever it was a year or whatever it was a month on Xbox Live Gold, now they don't have to. Do their parents say, "Well, take that money and buy V-Bucks and do this and do this"? And does it help all those, or are they just happy to say, "Okay, well, I don't need to pay for that now"? Who knows?
The truth. I think this was a bigger deal within our industry than it was ever the casuals, because the casuals are just gonna buy it because they're gonna hear the words. The kid's gonna go, "To have online, mum, I need gold." Like, they're not going to think, oh, but this is a free-to-play game. And I think the new customers you bring in on, like, a day, like, every new Xbox that's sold that starts a brand new account, though those are going to benefit from it with, like you said, the Robloxes, the Fortnites, the kiddie games, like when you're bringing in the younger audience, right? But I still think... You buy Call of Duty, you're still probably going to buy gold and not think about it. I don't think this is... I think Xbox are banking on that as well, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because you have to remember that this also isn't for all multiplayer games. No. If you buy Outriders, if you have Outriders on Game Pass, you still need gold to play that online.
Yep.
If you buy Call of Duty and you do play the traditional multiplayer mode, you need gold. Battlefield, you need gold. All these games, you still need gold. This is just for the people who buy the console. They're like, I just want to play a game, an online game, see how that is, whatever. This is more like a gateway to get them like, oh, you like multiplayer? Here's a whole bunch of other multiplayer games. You need gold for these.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I do agree with you. It's It's an interesting one. I'm glad. Obviously, I'm glad that it's finally there. I remember back in the day when YouTube was buying gold and Spotify was buying gold, and I remember just being like, Xbox, sort this crap out. This is ridiculous. So I'm glad that we finally got rid of that last hurdle, that barrier to entry for people. From at least from now on. So that's nice. Next up, Battlefield, Titanfall 2, and more EA games get the FPS boost on Xbox Series X/S. This one was written by a friend of the show, Adam Bankhurst, who says, Xbox has announced that EA games like Battlefield V, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Titanfall are all getting FPS boosts on Xbox Series X. And that's on Twitter. 12 EA games will be getting support for 120 Hz, while Sea of Solitude will see an increase to 60 Hz. Additionally, all these games are currently available on Game Pass if you got EA Play/Ultimate. The games that we're going to be talking about that get the X enhancements though are Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, Battlefield V, Mirror's Edge, Catalyst, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, Plants vs Zombies Neighborville, Plants vs Zombie Garden Warfare 2. All those games are getting 120 Hz upgrades on the S for some of them and the X. Which is really nice to see, because I know that's something you were worried about, Crash, that the S may have got left behind. It looks on this list, the only ones that won't be on S is Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 so far.
No, I think a few of them, actually. Star Wars Battlefront looks like it's
I ain't got to that part yet.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. You carry on.
Jesus, you're killing me out here. Sea of Solitude is getting 60 Hz on the Series X and S. Star Wars Battlefront is number 1 is X and S, where Star Wars Battlefront 2 is just on the Series X. Jesus Christ, I can't get the help around here nowadays. Titanfall 1 on Series X, Titanfall 2 on Series X and S, and Unraveled on Series X and S. 120 Hz for all those titles. So that's humongous. Absolutely humongous. I'm actually going to be doing a video relatively soon, hopefully. I'm not going to say nothing more, but that will be based around FPS and certain things. So expect that over on my main channel, and I may even be able to put a video up on the My Xbox and Me YouTube channel as well. So look forward to it. But Crash, is this good news, bad news? How's this feel about you?
I think this is good news. I actually, Titanfall 2, the campaign, is something that I didn't play back when it came out. I've heard a lot of really good things.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
You've not played it either.
So I think
Guys,
I'm gonna end up jumping into it with this.
I was talking
about it with friends as well recently. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let's do it.
So I think I'm gonna jump into it and give it a try.
It's fantastic. There's one mission very in particular that people will know what I'm referencing.
That's what everybody says.
And
everybody says that.
Magical. Yeah. Very much worth your time, in my opinion. So definitely go play it. I'm as someone that is lucky enough to have a monitor that can support these things. I'm happy that they exist. If I'm being honest, I'm happy that we are getting older titles come over. I'm looking forward to the days when games start launching in 120 FPS, 120 Hz. Sorry. It's a big deal for me. It's a big deal, and though it won't move the needle too much in the console race, like to sell consoles, I just think it's a nice thing to have. So I'm happy. Shout out to EA, because we all like to poo-poo EA a lot. So let's shout out to EA for going back and doing the upgrades on this. If it was them that did, I'm not sure if it's them or Xbox that did it, but a good job whoever it was that has got this done. So have you seen like the images of like, oh, now it's got like Game Pass, and it's got like quick resume, and it's got FPS boost when you launch a game? I just think that's dope.
No.
Yeah, like you launch a game now, and like in the corner it shows you all the features of what your console can now do and help, which I think that's fantastic.
Agreed.
Moving on, Xbox Series X/S is getting improved quick resume. My favorite feature on both of these consoles. It was one of the features that that definitely got highlighted in my review for the Xbox Series X. This one was also written by Jordan Ollerman of IGN, who says, new quick resume features are coming to the Xbox Series X and S. New updates include the ability to see and delete quick resume save states to create space for other games are rolling out to the Xbox insiders at the moment. If you're unfamiliar, Quick Resume is Xbox feature that allows users to suspend multiple games and snap between them at their leisure. There's an example of this on Twitter, which is what I was saying to you guys about, like, the little thing in the corner. And I think this is dope because it is very frustrating when you're like, why is this game not quick resuming? And you're like, it's because you've got 8 already loaded up in your cache. It's nice that Xbox have thought about that. They've gone back and gone, oh, that's something we can easily fix and show you what these games are sitting there. So yeah, it's dope. I'm very, very happy about it.
I just want to give Quick Resume a huge shout out in general because it's a feature that I'm gonna be 100%. I use it all the time. I absolutely never notice it.
Yep.
But that's a very good sign
Yeah.
that it just works. There's not really an issue. It's amazing. And I feel like Quick Resume after launch has kind of gone under the radar a little bit. You don't see really people talking about it. You don't see people hyping it, but I do think it's probably, if not the best, one of the best features about the Xbox Series consoles.
I am on the other side of the fence on my own on this one. Not because I don't like Quick Resume. It's a great feature. It's awesome, right? I have 4 games currently installed on my S. Control, Warzone, Apex, and Outriders. Yep. Warzone, Outriders, and Apex basically can't use Quick Resume because they're games of service, and so you have to log in every time anyway, right? So like it's always booting me out to a main menu, and I'm dealing with that, and so I just never see the benefit of Quick Resume, and that is totally on me and the way I'm playing my games and stuff like that. If I was playing different games, I'm sure I would absolutely love it, but it's one of those features that I understand is hugely beneficial and has just passed me by completely because of the hard drive size of my Xbox, which again, on me.
Huge disagreement with you talking about it. Even with Apex, you cut out a whole launching bit in Apex that you normally go through.
I'm sure you do. Those 3 games in particular take ages to get you in, no matter where you like. I know that there is a loading screen that I'm missing out, but they just take so long anyway.
Apex is pretty quick. I play Apex on my Xbox all the time. It's pretty quick.
Apex is probably the one I play least.
I think Warzone's quick as well. Personally,
Warzone takes forever for me. I don't know.
I think you're underestimating the boot
how much time you save. Yeah,
it actually takes. Where I think it's because you think it's an inconvenience of the fact that it should just work. Which I agree with you. Look, no. Let me finish, and I understand. I understand what you're saying. Which I agree with you in terms of. It would be nice if we could just load into this Quick Resume and the online service just works. Like, how much better would that feature feel if that worked? But I think you're under. Yeah. No, do you understand that? I understand that. Chris understands that. Doesn't mean we don't want it. Like,
sure. Okay, fair enough.
But I think I disagree with Outriders as well. Like, there was plenty of times that I loaded into Outriders. And it took a little bit extra time, but not having to see that old new Square Enix cutscene with the bird flies and all that crap, I'm like, thank God. Like, just log, cool. You got to kick me back to a menu or something? No problem. I'm absolutely fine with that. Disagree. Big disagree.
You know what the biggest example I can think of how you don't notice how much time you save is GTA 5. I remember for my Xbox and me, we did a video comparing the times with the Series X compared to the Xbox One X.
Yep.
And at first, Fix had recorded it, and he was talking. He sent me the clip, and he's talking about it. He's like, "It took forever. It's not really that big of an improvement." But then when you get to actually comparing the two, it's like a good minute difference. Oh, yeah. It is really crazy.
Yeah. The more these things become normal to us, the less we remember how bad it was before, right? And that is totally. I fully understand that. All I'm saying is, because of the types of games that I'm playing, I don't notice it being as crazily speedily as if I was just playing story-based single-player games, in which case I'm sure I would be all over it.
Which is exactly my feeling with Back to Xclad, where it loads in, I'm sure it loads in pretty fast in comparison to what I'm thinking it is on a bloody mobile phone where I haven't downloaded a single thing. We've gotten to that point of luxury, right? Where we're like, to me, it reminds me of the Hunger Games. I don't know how many of you have seen the Hunger Games, where they do that big fancy ball thing, and they take the potion, and she's like, "Oh no, that's so I can eat more." And then and Candace is like, "But you're not hungry anymore." And she's like, "Ha ha ha, you mere peasant! Like, get out of here." It feels like that to me, where I'm like, we don't know how good we've got it.
Oh,
until it gets taken away, you get thrown in Sector 9, you know? But yeah, shout out to this, and yeah, looking forward to the features being updated. Very, very much so. Next big piece of news, which has got me, this has actually got me super excited, because I'm ready for a new shooting game, and it's a series that I have always wanted to get good at, but I feel like you need a team to get good at it. You need people playing the right roles. You need people, especially on the bigger maps, which, of course, we're talking about Battlefield. EA put out a blog post over on EA.com saying the Battlefield is expanded. 2 new Battlefield experiences are in development, one for console and PC, and the other for mobile. And it reads a little something like this. Hey Battlefield community, I know everyone is wanting more details about what's to come for Battlefield this year, and I promise we have a lot to show you in the coming months. We're putting something together for when we reveal the next generation of Battlefield, and we can't wait to show it to you all. But for now, we have a couple things we wanted to tell you about. Firstly, we're really excited to have the biggest Battlefield development team ever working on our console and PC game for this holiday season. And second, we're excited, we have something very exciting to talk about on mobile. The return of all-out warfare. 2021 is an exciting time for us at DICE, working with more world-class developer studios within Electronic Arts. We have our biggest team ever on a Battlefield game for console and PC. Our friends at Criterion and DICE LA are working with us on our shared vision for the game, while the team is in Gothenburg. Have I said that correctly, Crash? Gothenburg is taking technology in the game to the next level. Together, we are creating jaw-dropping experiences for you all to enjoy. We're in daily playtesting mode for polishing, balancing, and making the best Battlefield game we can, and I can tell you it is a bold step. It has everything we love about Battlefield and takes all of it to the next level. Epic scale, all-out military warfare, crazy unexpected moments, game-changing destruction, massive battlefields, packed with more players and mayhem ever than before. All brought to life with the power of next-gen consoles and PC. Get ready for a reveal soon. Where are your hype levels for this next-gen Battlefield, Crash?
I need to see it before I get hyped for it.
That's
the
fair.
last Battlefield game I really enjoyed was Bad Company 2.
Oh, wow.
And that was so long ago.
Yeah.
Like, I've had fun in Battlefield since then, but I don't think I've ever, past the initial burst of playing it, ever wanted to continually play a Battlefield since Bad Company 2.
Fair enough. Matt?
Yeah, for me, Battlefield's always been a weird one for me. I think you're absolutely right in what you said at the start of, this is so much more fun if you have a team. So much of Battlefield for me is feeling like I'm on my own. We're getting dominated by the other team. I'm dying. I'm respawning way, way back. I'm having to run back into the fight to die again to do that. And I think now, even more so than before, we are used to Call of Duty Warzone. I'm dropping in. I'm fighting. I'm over. Okay, never mind. I'll jump into the next game. I'm dropping in. It's so quick now. We're so used to that. Battlefield need to find a way to make that happen. Or I think they could double down on what they are and make it even more gritty and go the other way, and that will serve an audience that isn't me. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they've got.
I generally think I've played Battlefield the exact same way you've said, which was anytime I jumped in Battlefield on my own, it was run 100 meters, get sniped, spawn back to the last point. And then I've played with a team, which is you can spawn on your team. So you're next to your friends. Battlefield is such a good experience if you play it it sounds really horrible, but this is how I feel. But if you play it in the quote unquote right way, which is it is having everyone have a separate class. So we're staying alive for so long, and we need more ammo. Where's our ammo guy? Damn it, Jeff, you've just been killed. Like there is such a different experience there that can be had compared to Call of Duty. Definitely, the last Battlefield I probably really had fun with was Battlefield 3 in its multiplayer, and like I said, anytime I played with a squad, I was like, this game is next level. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for as I have grown bigger in influencer status, quote unquote, rubbish bullcrap. I have more people that want to play games with me. People like yourself who wants to jump in for Apex. Imagine it's me, you, Kresh, and a couple of people from chat, and we're just jumping in together. And you are going to still die a lot, but you're going to have to just spawn on me, Matt. I'll drop this for you. Like, it's a different level experience, and that's. Though I agree with Crash 1000%. Let's wait. Let's not get too hyped. Let's relax. Let's wait and see the game. Even if they gave me a Battlefield 5 experience on next gen with people that actually want to play it, that's what I'm ready for right now. I'm so over the meta, which is Call of Duty, and I haven't. Again, think about it. We've just done what's in our box. New event just happened. New map and everything.
Yep.
How many of us talked about it? None of us. And we all know I was the Call of Duty guy. I played it every single day for 8 hours straight, and I've just gotten over it. Like, it's just it hasn't become fun, and that's all they need to do. If it becomes skill based, which is Battlefield, is if I'm getting killed by people that are just absolutely better than me, I have no problem with that. But if there's a level of meta and stuff like that, that's when I've got problems.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult because I think they're probably looking at the success of Warzone and thinking, how do we do that with Battlefield? And potentially this could be the most different Battlefield we've seen in a long time from what that franchise is. Or like I say, they double down and it becomes even more Battlefield than ever. And yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it tries to compete with Warzone, at least not initially. I think it tries to do what Battlefield does. I wonder if they will do another BR, if they'll take another shot at a BR, though.
I would be okay with them doing that. It's just not what I want. You know?
Right.
Like, I want a Battlefield game. I want to be in the trenches, jumping in a mother-in plane, jumping in tanks, blowing up walls. Like, that's the experience I want.
Yeah. I don't think they put together the biggest Battlefield team, the biggest team they've ever had, to not give you that experience. So I think that experience is without a doubt what you're getting. I just wonder on top of that, or is that all we're going to get alongside a campaign? Is that really all there's going to be?
I think I know what you're saying. You're right. Which is, look at the success of what they. I think the problem is twofold, right? Look at the success of what Call of Duty had, and look at the humongous flop that what Battlefield had in terms of its BR. And I hope, maybe I'm wrong, but I hope they've learned from that and just went, you know what? That's not us. That's not what we need to be. That's not what we need to do. Like, we are Battlefield, and we have a dedicated fan base of people that love our games. Let's stop trying to be what that is. FIFA already makes us more money than Call of Duty does in microtransactions. Like, I know COD makes a ton of money. I'm off with the numbers there, but you know what I mean. Like, they've got their golden goose with microtransactions. They don't need that the way Call of Duty needs that in COD. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? You know. So
yeah, definitely. I think it'll be really interesting to see what comes out of it, because